Why is it the same life, year after year? The same problems, the same faces, the same numbers on your account at the end of the month. The dates on the calendar change, and everything else plays like one endless take. Groundhog Day stretched across a whole life. You can change your job, your city, the people around you, and 6 months later recognize the same life in new scenery. And if you've tried to break out, positive thinking, affirmations in the mirror, visualization, a stack of self-help books, and nothing moved, it isn't because you're weak or didn't try hard enough. The cause isn't where you'd think to look. Every morning, before you've even opened your eyes, you do one thing, without knowing it. You leave a signature, not with a pen, not on paper, with yourself, with who you are this morning, how you woke, what you felt first, the tone you looked at your day through. And all day long, the world reads that signature and answers it. Not what you say out loud, not what you ask for, only that. And it happens before any thought. Inside, the first thing is only just surfacing. The money worry, if there is one. The old hurt, if there is one. The dull, here we go again. And already you are signed, in that tone, that quiet, who I am today. And from there, the day just reads the signature and answers. Here is the whole of it. That signature is almost always the same one, the same morning, the same tone. The one who closed his eyes last night opens them today and signs with himself again. And since the signature is the same, so is the answer. Year after year, you sign the world with one and the same hand, and get back one and the same life. Now listen, because everything else grows from here. That signature isn't just a mood. You broadcast it, literally. Your consciousness is not a brain in a skull. It reaches far past the body, into an unseen field that ties together every atom of the universe. Physicists call it the unified field. The ancient mystics called it Akasha, and it is one and the same field. It surrounds you right now. You are submerged in it like a fish in water, and it reads your signature and answers it. Every day of your life is that field's answer to who you signed as this morning. You can spend a whole life leaving that signature blind, not knowing you're leaving it, not knowing it can be changed at all, waking up, grabbing yesterday's self by reflex, and wondering why tomorrow keeps arriving like yesterday. In this video, I'll show you your signature and how to leave a different one, so the field carries you a different life, not with affirmations in the mirror. Words alone are not enough, and you'll see why. Deeper than that, the way the initiates of every age signed, not with years of labor on the outside, but from within, in a single turn. And the first thing to see is what you even are, because the one who signs is not the one you take yourself to be. Start with a simple question. What are you made of? Flesh and blood, you'll say. Cells. Go deeper. Cells are molecules. Molecules are atoms. And what is an atom made of? Here's where it gets real. An atom is over 99% empty, not matter. Take a vast stadium, 100,000 seats, and set a single pea down in the very center. That is the whole atom, the pea, a crumb of substance, and the entire stadium around it, empty. Except it isn't empty. It's a field, energy, waves of information, possibility. Now put it together. Your body is trillions of atoms, and each one is 99.9% not substance but field, which means you, too, are 99.9% field, not flesh. You are a wave of possibility pretending to be a solid body. Sit with that a moment. What you touch is solid. This table, this wall, your own hand, is almost pure emptiness, humming with energy. Solidness is a sensation, not a fact. You live inside a world that looks dense, but truly, you are swimming in an ocean of vibrating energy, and that ocean answers what you send into it. You are not a spectator here. You are woven into its very fabric, and when you truly hear that, everything turns over. Because if you are field, then you are not separate from the great field. You are part of it. Your brain is a receiver and a transmitter. It trades with the field without pause. Every thought of yours is a wave going out into the field. Every feeling is a signal the field reads, and the field responds. It doesn't sort good from bad. It simply resonates with the frequency you put out. Put out fear, and the field brings you more to fear. Put out gratitude, and it brings more to be grateful for. Your signature is exactly this, the frequency you broadcast into the field every second you're alive. And it's almost always the same frequency. The one who fell asleep wakes and broadcasts the same. And here is why it's so hard to change. The reason runs deeper than you think. The reason is the body. Every feeling you live is a chemistry in the body. Anger is one chemistry, fear another, worry a third. Live the same feeling day after day, and the body grows used to that chemistry, the way it gets used to a dose. The cells start to crave the familiar. And so you wake, and the body is already waiting for its dose. Anxiety, irritation, hurry, because that's what it knows. Deny it, and it starts to demand. It sends the mind a signal. Find something to worry about. And on autopilot, you find a problem. You switch on the old frequency, and you sign with it without noticing. That is not weak will. That is a body addicted to the old chemistry, moving your hand. This circle has always been known. In the East, they called it the wheel. A man going round and round the same circle, never seeing he can step off. And the one who steps off is not the one who pushes harder on the circle itself, who tries more. It's the one who changes not the deeds, but who does them. The frequency, the signature. And the first turn of the key is simple. What you've caught sight of in yourself stops ruling you in the dark, which raises the real question. What does the field even answer to? What does it read in you? Because it doesn't read what you think, and it doesn't read what you say. Here is where nearly everyone who tries to rewrite his life stumbles. A thought is an electric charge. You think, and an impulse flares in the brain. A wave goes out into the field. A thought is a signal. Your request, the coordinates of what you want. But one thought is not enough, because there's a second thing, and it's stronger. Emotion is a magnetic charge. It's what pulls the event back to you. If thought is the question, emotion is the answer. Thought says what? Emotion says already. And here is the mistake. You think, I want money. That's a thought, a signal. And what do you feel while you think it? Lack, a quiet dread that it won't come. And the field reads not the thought, it reads the emotion. You sent the field the signal, I don't have enough. And the field answers, fine. Here's more of a world where you don't have enough, not as punishment. That's how a mirror works. It reflects the one standing before it, not the one he wishes he looked like. Say, I am rich 1,000 times right now. And if underneath you feel lack, you're signing with lack. The mirror reflects lack. That's why words in the mirror are empty. That's why you can repeat them for years and not move an inch. The field is deaf to words. It hears vibration. And vibration is born only when thought and feeling match. When the electric and the magnetic come together, when you think of the goal and at the same time feel that it's already yours. Here is the formula. A clear thought plus a lifted feeling. Give birth to an event. And strongest of all here is the heart. Its field is thousands of times more powerful than the field of the brain. When heart and brain sound together, in tune, you put out a signal so strong the field cannot help but answer. At the HeartMath Institute, they saw it plainly. Let a man step into a lifted feeling. Gratitude, love, joy. And the field of his heart widens, grows, ordered, coherent. Brain and heart start to beat as one. Their waves fall into line, into a single, powerful signal. And in that state, a man becomes a magnet for what he is. Let me say it straight, and this is the heart of the whole thing. The world answers not to what you want. The world answers to who you feel yourself to be while you want it. You want money. But inside, there's never enough for me? More lack will come. You want love. But inside loneliness, mistrust, a bracing for the blow, more loneliness will come. It will circle close and find no way in. The wish lives up top, in words. What gets answered is what's underneath, the frequency, the signature. Do you feel that? If something tightened or pulled inside you just now, that's it. That's your signature making itself known. And here's the thing about it. The signature is not what you tell yourself now and then for 5 minutes. It's the tone you live in for most of your waking hours. You can feel like a creator for 5 minutes in the morning, and then all day, without noticing, broadcast fear, hurt, hurry, envy. And the field builds your life not out of those 5 minutes. It builds it out of the other hours, out of who you were while you weren't watching yourself. Not out of your best intention, but out of what you stood in most of the day. It sounds almost merciless. And in that very fact is all the freedom. Because the signature is the one thing that is truly in your hands. Not events, not other people, not the past, but who you are right now, that you choose. And so the hand that signs can become your own. Every moment, you are signing. And what the field answers is not your words, it's the signature. Now, for what turns it over for good, if you look hard enough, you think the life you want isn't here yet, that it has to be built, reached, earned, dragged into being. That's what holds you in lack. All day you reach for what, to your mind, isn't there. And sign with that very reaching, that isn't. But it's all already here, not will be, is now. Under the crust of the visible lies the field, and it's an ocean holding everything at once. Every possible life of yours already exists in it, like a wave in water, the version of you that is free, the one that is loved, the one that is wealthy and at peace. They aren't ahead. In some future you have to walk toward for years. They are here now, close by, waiting for one thing, for you to become them. Then the very meaning of what you do changes. You don't build a new life brick by brick, straining. You choose which of the already existing waves to become, which one to sign with yourself, onto which one to pour yourself so fully and so steadily that the field takes that signature and carries that exact wave up onto the shore of the visible. And what carries one wave out of 1,000 into your life? Your attention, your signature, what you stand in, within, long and unbroken. Where you are aimed, life flows. Stand in lack, look at it, sign with it, and lack strengthens, and lack is what comes ashore. Stand in the version already free, and that comes. Attention is not an empty gaze. It's the hand that scoops from the ocean exactly the water you looked into. Here is what follows from that, and you may not have noticed. If every morning the first thing you look at is lack, debt, what you don't have, then with your attention you collapse that exact wave, day after day. You are no victim of circumstance. You are, without knowing it, its observer, calling it into being. And the very same power with which you hauled lack out of the ocean for years will haul abundance out, the moment you turn your gaze. The power is the same. Only where you look changes. Where does this come from? Scientists looked into the very heart of matter and saw the impossible, the double-slit experiment. They fire a single particle, an electron, and while no one is watching, it behaves like a wave. It goes through both slits at once. It is everywhere and nowhere, smeared across every possibility. That's called superposition. But the instant you set up an instrument and look to see which slit it goes through, it collapses. It chooses one. It becomes a particle at a single point. The mere act of watching forced a wave of possibility to become one reality. The observer created the reality. As Niels Bohr, the father of quantum mechanics, put it, everything we call real is made of things that cannot be called real. Stop on this a moment, because it's no trifle. Before the particle was looked at, it had no one definite place. It was pure possibility, a cloud of every maybe. And only the gaze, only the act of watching, pushed one reality out of that cloud. Not a hand, not some instrument shoving it. The gaze, consciousness, turned onto possibility, decided what it would become. That is what you are made for by your very nature. Not in dreams, but at the very floor of matter, with a turned gaze to call reality out of the cloud of the possible. And you do this already, every single day, only aimed the wrong way. Wake worried, and you spend the day watching for what could go wrong. And the day obliges. That is the same power, turned toward fear. Turn it the other way, and it works just as faithfully for what you want. The gift was never missing, only its aim. And time here is not what it seems. You're used to it, the past behind, the future ahead, frame after frame. But in the field, there is no time, or rather, all time is here at once. Einstein called it the block universe. Past, present, and future already exist, all at once. Your future isn't waiting ahead. It is here now, as one of the waves. And here's the trap. Every morning, the first thing you do is pull yesterday's troubles out of memory, replay the old failures, and you sign with the past and haul its likeness ashore. Again and again, the same future, molded out of yesterday. You draw tomorrow from yesterday's water. It can be otherwise. Draw not from memory, from the ocean, not from what was, from the wave that already is, but hasn't yet come ashore. The version of you that is free and full and loved already exists. Not tomorrow, now. And your task is not to beg it or suffer it into being, but to become it so fully that the field cannot help but carry it to you. How to become it? Not by force on the outside, from within, by 4 movements. I'll lead you to the very threshold. But across the threshold, you step alone. And don't think it over. Do it. The power here is not in understanding. It's in becoming. The first movement is the hardest and the most important. Take off the old signature. Before you can leave a new one, you have to erase the old. And the old signature is your present self, with a name, a history, debts, everything you're used to counting as you. And as long as you hold on to that self, you are locked in its reality. The field of pure possibility is not a place you enter carrying the baggage of the past. You enter it only as pure consciousness. You have to become no one, nothing, nowhere, and outside time. And here, let's crack open one word, because the key is hidden in it. Imagination. We hear make-believe in it, something idle and unserious. But its root is image. To imagine is, literally, to carry into an image, to clothe in an image, to give form. To imagine is not to invent empty things. It's to bring something into form with yourself, with your attention. It's not the mind at play out of boredom. It's the workshop where your tomorrow is shaped. But to shape a clean thing, the page has to be clean. Here is how the old signature is erased. Find a quiet place where no one will touch you. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and begin to let yourself go, layer by layer. First, let the body go. Don't hold on to it. Don't track the breath, the tension in the shoulders, the sounds. Let it all move to the background, the way the room recedes as you fall asleep. The body is not you. The body is only your temporary house. Then, let the name go. A name is only a sound others call you by. You are not a sound. Let the role go. You are not a profession, not a status, not what you managed or failed to. Those are masks, not a face. Let the history go. You are not the past, not your hurts, not what was once done to you. Those are events that pass through you, not your essence. Let even the shape go, the very sense that you have edges. And don't be frightened if, in that quiet, it suddenly turns frightening. The old you has something to lose. It doesn't want to dissolve. It will cling, push thoughts at you, drag you back to the name, to the tasks. That's no obstacle. It's the sign that you're at the very door. Don't fight it. Don't force it. Just keep letting go, gently, as if you were breathing out your former self. And at some moment, the grip lets go on its own. Peel off layer after layer. And what remains is quiet, spaciousness, emptiness, but not the frightening emptiness of loneliness, the one you may have run from all your life. Another kind, an endless emptiness where everything is still possible because nothing yet fills it. You have become no one, which means you can become anyone. You are no longer locked in yesterday's self. You are pure possibility, a hand with no ink held over the page. For some, it takes a few minutes, for some longer. Each has his own time, and this is no test of speed. Don't rush it. Don't press. You'll know the state when you reach it. The body seems to dissolve, time loses its edges, and a sense of boundless space comes up. There you are, at the ocean. The page is clean. Now you can sign. Now, on the clean page, choose one wave. 1, not 10. The version of you that matters most right now. The one that, once it shifts, pulls the rest along. The field needs clarity. A blurred, let things somehow get better, has no wave to carry ashore, nothing to grip. A clear one does. So choose one and stand in it. And don't mold the details. Here's where it goes wrong, over and over. You start drawing it in fine detail. How you look, what you wear, the color of the car. And that drops you right back into the world of things, the world where it isn't there, into lack. The field doesn't work with props and set dressing. It works with state. So hold not a detailed picture, but a simple image. Warm light, a glowing sphere, a widening in the chest. One thing, charged with the fact that it's done. Attention is the field's currency. Where you aim attention, power flows, and where power flows, matter is shaped. Stand in that image with your attention, and you literally collapse the wave of possibility into the reality you want by the force of your focused consciousness. Remember the electron. It stayed a cloud of every maybe until a gaze fell on it and made it one. Your chosen life is that cloud, and your steady attention is the gaze. This is not daydreaming. A daydream drifts and asks nothing of you. This is aim. You hold one wave, unwavering, and by holding it, you call it toward the shore. You are choosing that version out of the ocean, the one you look at with the most clarity and the steadiest attention. And now, the thing without which all the earlier movements come to nothing, the very heart. The field answers not to desire. It answers to the state of the thing accomplished. It's not enough to look at the wave and want it. You have to step into it and feel the end. Feel it as if the wished-for thing were already done, already yours. Not, I want it to come, but it is. It's here. Because feeling is the seal of the event. When something good happens in your life, you feel gratitude, joy, relief. That feeling is the imprint of the thing accomplished in the body. And here's the key. If you can summon that feeling before the event has come, the body will believe it has already happened. And when the body believes, the field answers. Because the field reads not the thought, it reads the state of your whole being. Joe Dispenza saw this, studying the brain of people who step into the state of an already accomplished future. Their brain and body began to work as if the wished-for thing had already occurred. The body produced the chemistry of success, of health, of joy, before it showed up on the outside. The body begins to live in the future before it has arrived, and reality pulls itself into line with that state. Ask yourself, what will I feel when this comes true? Relief? A quiet certainty? A warm fullness in the chest? Gratitude? Don't invent the feeling out of your head. Find it in yourself. Remember a moment from your past when you already felt something like it, in some other setting, no matter. Find that feeling in your own experience, and light it now, again. For each wave, it's different. Wealth. Not a picture of banknotes, but the calm width in the chest when there's simply enough. Love. Not a face, but the warm safety of being taken as you are, and no one leaving. Health. The lightness in a body that obeys, when you've simply forgotten you have one. Let the feeling fill your chest. Let it spread through the whole body to your fingertips. And set the seal with a word from within. Not, I want, but I am. I am free. I am loved. I am the one who already has this. And stay in it. Not for 10 seconds, but for a few minutes, as long as you can hold. Because it's here, in these minutes, that the signature changes. The longer you stand in the feeling of the thing accomplished, the deeper the field takes the new signature, and the surer it carries that wave ashore. The mind will drift to tasks and doubts. That's normal. Don't scold it. You caught it drifting. You gently bring it back to the feeling of the thing already done. Drifted, brought back. That is the whole of the work. And strongest of all here is gratitude, because you cannot be grateful for what isn't there. Gratitude is itself the state of the thing received. Be grateful for your wave as if it had already come ashore, and you've signed with it more surely than any other way. Every moment, you are signing, and now the hand is yours. The third movement is simple to hear and hard to do. Once you've signed, let go. You've done your part. Become no one. Chosen the wave. Lit its end within you. Left the signature. The rest is not your work. The rest is the field's work. To carry the wave ashore, to bring events together, to lead the right people in, to open doors. And your job now is not to get in the way. Here is where almost everyone breaks. They step out of the quiet and grab the wheel at once. How exactly will this come about? When? Through whom? By what route? And what if it's not? What if it's too late? And every time you clutch at the how, you slide back into the old world. The world of cause and effect, where everything has to be dragged by hand, a stone pushed uphill, taken by force and control. But the field doesn't work that way. It is beyond measure larger than you and wiser than you. It sees paths you don't see. It knows people you don't know. It brings together coincidences your mind couldn't arrange in 100 years of calculating. The moment you grab the wheel, you narrow the vast down to the one thin path your frightened mind can see. To let go doesn't mean to sit with folded hands and wait for a miracle. Action matters. But action has to come from fullness, not from desperation. When you stand in the new signature, the field itself begins to send signs. A sudden thought out of nowhere, a chance meeting, an unexpected offer, a quiet nudge from within. Follow those nudges, calmly, lightly. Act when you feel the call. But don't break down doors. Don't shove what won't move. The difference is simple. Action from fullness is light and moves on its own. Action from desperation is heavy, and in it you're proving lack all over again. And the signs of the field are almost always quiet. Not thunder from the sky. Suddenly you remember a person you haven't called in ages. A word catches your eye and lands. Something pulls you to turn where you weren't headed, and there's a meeting there. That's the field's language. Light nudges, coincidences, unexpected why-nots. Your job is not to sleep through them under the noise of control and calculation. Let go of the wheel and stand in the signature, and you begin to hear them. Clutch the how, and you go deaf, and the field is calling, and you don't hear. It's like throwing a stone into deep water. You threw it. The rings are already spreading. They're moving toward the shore, but they need time. And if you now reach in with your hands to check where the rings are, why they haven't arrived, you'll only break them with your own fear. Through it, step back, trust, and above all, don't return to the old signature. If, opening your eyes, you start at once to doubt, to fret, to repeat, but what if it doesn't come? You erase the signature you just left and sign with the old one. With your own hand, you cancel the order. Your job now is to carry the new signature into an ordinary day without smudging it. And that's a thing apart, because there, in the daylight, everything is decided. Here is where even those who did everything right in the quiet break. You came out of the quiet, full. You stood at the ocean, and there everything was already accomplished. And then you opened your eyes, and the world is the same. The same walls, the same bills on the table, the same faces with the same discontent, the same traffic, the same gray out the window. And in that very moment, the test. What will you answer with when your eyes see the old? If you slide at once into the old, into irritation, anxiety, well, here we go. Nothing again. You've broken the signature. Back into the old frequency, signed with yesterday's self. And the field reads, he's the same again. So, the same life for him, carry on as before. Everything you set so carefully in the quiet is erased with a single move of annoyance. So the signature has to be held with your eyes open. The world won't change that same second. It doesn't work that way, and don't wait for it, or you'll be disappointed by the second day. The visible is dense. It needs time. But hold the new state despite what your eyes see, and the field begins to rebuild the visible. Slowly, quietly, coincidence by coincidence, meeting by meeting. And one thing helps you hold it. Become the observer, not the one who answers blindly to every push from outside. Learn to look at yourself a little from the side. When the unwanted comes, don't answer on autopilot with the old reaction. Stop yourself for one heartbeat. Notice, here the old is rising, the habitual annoyance, the habitual fear. And name it to yourself. The old signature has switched on. That's not me, that's yesterday's ink. In that very instant, while you watch it from the side, it no longer rules you. A gap opens between you and it. And in that gap, you are free to answer otherwise. Remember that electron? While no one watches it, it's smeared across every possibility. Turn a gaze on it, and it chooses one. So with you, while you live on autopilot, chance chooses for you. But the moment you begin to watch yourself from the side, the choice comes back to you. Every time you catch yourself in an old reaction and don't let it close, you are like that observer at the slit. With your attention, you collapse the infinity of possible yous into the one you chose to be. You do it right in the middle of the day, in front of the old world. And the world, not yet changed on the outside, already gets a new signature. Take any small thing of the day. Someone was rude in a queue. The old signature would have flared, answered, carried the splinter all day. But you caught the flare, named it, and let it pass, didn't take it. The signature holds. An unpleasant bill came. The old hand would have clenched into worry for the whole evening. But you caught the clench, breathed out, and came back to the one you chose to be. The signature holds. This doesn't mean becoming stone, feeling nothing. It means not handing your signature to the first passing irritation. And see what you're really doing here. You aren't pretending the bill isn't due or the rudeness didn't happen. You see them clearly and refuse to let them re-sign you. That isn't denial. It's sovereignty over your own signature, held in the one place it can be held. The present moment in front of the unchanged world. And to answer otherwise, remember the one you were in the quiet and ask, how would the one who already lives in my wave answer this? The one already free, already full? He might simply walk past, might not even notice the sting, might see here not a blow of fate, but a bit of litter, or even a lesson. But to panic and whining, he does not return, because he knows the visible only reflects the unseen. And if the light holds within, the outside will, sooner or later, fall into line. That is the stepping off the circle, not somewhere after, not in another life, but in the very second you noticed you were sliding, and didn't. Each time, anew. At first, it's hard, especially the first days. The old rut is deep, and it pulls. But each time it's easier, because the new signature becomes the familiar one, and the old begins to feel foreign. And on the day the old one becomes the foreign one, you'll know you've been rewritten. And the last thing to understand, or you'll quit halfway and decide it doesn't work. Between the signature and its coming true, there is a lag. This is no instant trick at the snap of a finger. The visible is dense. It needs time to rebuild around the new signature. You threw the stone into the deep. The rings are already spreading. Events are already shifting. People are already moving to their places. Doors are already easing open. But on the surface, it's still quiet. And you don't see it yet. And that's how it should be. And each has his own lag. It's shorter for the one who holds the signature clean, without doubt, not sliding back into the old every hour, and longer for the one just starting. Here, the body still clings to the familiar chemistry. The old self still switches on again and again, and several times a day you sign the old way without noticing, and then wonder why the wave isn't coming. At first, the lag can be weeks, sometimes months. But the cleaner and longer you stand in the new signature, the shorter it grows. Weeks fold into days, days into hours. And for the one who stands firm, without a single crack of doubt, the coming true follows almost on the heels of the signature. Because in him, there is no inner argument, no what if, no return to the old that cancels it all. And here is where it's easiest to drop your hands. Stand in the new signature 3 days, nothing on the surface. And it's tempting to grow disappointed, say it doesn't work, and sign the old, familiar way. But that's like planting a seed and digging it up after 3 days. No sprout yet, so none coming. And the sprout is already under the earth, roots going down, the stem reaching for light. All of it happens unseen, but it happens. Dig it up with your hands, and you'll never know the wave was already on its way. Another kind of doubt may rise to, what if I can't manage to feel the end? It's like I'm just playing at it. At first, that's exactly how it'll be. The feeling will seem staged. The body won't believe it once. That doesn't mean it isn't working. It means the old signature still holds and the new one isn't broken in yet. Keep going. And one day, the feeling becomes yours. A signature is broken in like a new shoe. And don't punish yourself for sliding. Everyone slides at first. The rut is deep. It's not about never stumbling. It's about coming back every time. The one who comes back arrives. The one who demands perfection of himself from day one quits on the third. And for the days when there's no strength at all, a little is enough. For 1 minute, close your eyes and just touch that wave without strain. Even that holds the signature. The field answers to steadiness, not to the force of a burst. So your job in that empty-seeming stretch is one thing. Don't lose the signature. Stand in it. Every morning, every evening, come back to the same quiet, the same end, the same I am. And one day, when you least expect it, the surface will stir. A sudden call, an unlooked-for meeting, a door that wasn't there yesterday, a coincidence your mind could never have arranged. And you'll know, the field answered. It just needed time to carry the wave ashore. Don't rush the depth. Hold the signature. With each time you stand firm and don't slide, the lag grows shorter and the hand steadier. We've come a long way. From the signature you left blind to leaving it with your own hand. And here is what I'll leave you with at the end. The thing without which all the rest stays beautiful words. None of it is worth anything while it lies as knowledge in the head. You can hear it out. Nod. Yes, well put. Close it, and tomorrow wake as the same signature, out of the same yesterday, in the same spot. And a year on, find yourself in the same place, only with new scenery. The field doesn't answer to what's heard and understood. It answers to what's done, to a change of state, to a hand that left the signature otherwise, even once. Knowledge without movement just lies there, like an unplanted seed. You can know everything about the harvest and never see a single sprout. And that movement has to be repeated, not once, but day after day. The change here is no flash, but a return. Again and again to the same quiet, the same end, the same I am. Especially on the days the surface is still and it seems like nothing. Stand like that a month. The surface stirs. Stand longer. And you'll look back on a life you no longer recognize. Not because a miracle struck from outside, but because every morning you signed otherwise. But only if you don't quit where it's easiest to drop your hands. Start small, with a few minutes of quiet in the morning, with one movement in the middle of the day when you slide, to catch it and not slide, with one wave chosen and signed. Not all at once, small, but start, and don't let go. And tomorrow, the moment you open your eyes, before your hand reaches by habit for yesterday, stop for one heartbeat and ask yourself quietly, what will I sign with today? Yesterday's lack, because it lies nearest and feels most like home? Or the wave I choose to become? Every moment, you are signing. Now you know with what. You are not the signature that has been leaving itself all these years, out of the nearest, out of yesterday. You are the hand that signs. and the ocean waits, full of all your lives at once. And the page under your hand is clean again every morning. And here is what I want you to carry out of this louder than anything else. You are not a chip in the current, not a victim of circumstance, not a hostage to other people's decisions, not someone who simply got unlucky. All of that is the old signature, and it lies. The truth runs the other way. You are the very power that calls the wave out of the ocean. Not someday, not if the stars line up, not when life finally settles. Right now, with this hand. And this power is no gift for the chosen few. It isn't handed out for special merit. It isn't something you have to grow into over years. You already have it. You always did. You've used it every single day, just blindly, hauling the same yesterday out of the ocean. The difference between the life that grinds you down and the life you dream of is not luck, not connections, not that someone was given more. The difference is one thing: which signature you walk into the day with. And that is the one thing entirely in your hands. Not events, not other people, not the past. The signature. Yours. Think about what that means. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to believe in you first. You don't need the circumstances to change before you begin. You can start tonight, in the quiet, with your eyes closed, and the world will already begin to answer a different signature. Not because luck says so, because that is how the field is built. It waits only for the signal. And the signal is up to you. Yes, there will be days the old pulls you back. Mornings when the hand goes to sign with yesterday on its own. That's normal. The rut is deep, and you won't walk this road without a single slip. But now you know what you didn't know yesterday. Slid, caught it, came back. Every such return is stronger than any slip. You don't have to be flawless. You only have to not quit. And picture, for a moment, the one you'd be, already free. Not somewhere ahead. In the ocean, now, waiting. Already living the life you reach for. And between you and that self is not years of struggle. Between you is one step, to become it, to feel it as your own, and not let go. You can take that step, today. The power is in your hands. The page is clean. The ocean is full. All that's left is to sign. The choice is only yours. Not the world's, not chances, not tomorrow's. Yours. And now, you. Write one thing in the comments, your signature. Not I want, but I am. The state, the wave you sign tomorrow with. I am free. I am abundant. I am loved. I am the one who already has this. When you name it out loud, in the light, it stops being a distant dream and becomes a signature set down by a hand. That is the very first movement. Leave it and become the one you signed as.